Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today we are taking a look at why people are grateful for you. So, please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has a message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with difference in vibration. Group number 2 in the center with expect the unexpected, and group number 3 on the right with through the looking glass. I would like to thank each and every one of you so much for being here and let you know that you're loved. As always, the timestamps are listed below in the description box, as well as all the rest of my information. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps out my channel so much. And I love what I do, and I love connecting with you guys. So, with all of that being said, thanks again so much, and I'll see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi Group 1, namaste. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to your reading. Today we are taking a look at why people are grateful for you. So, you selected the first group with the difference in vibration card. Now, the first thing that I'm getting here is that your perspective is one of the biggest reasons why people are grateful for you. There's also an energy of people coming to understanding, coming to clarity, feeling a sense of ease, acceptance, peace, calm, and a safe space just by being around you. There's an energy here where you definitely hold a safe space for people in their light attributes, in their shadow attributes. There's an energy here as well that you are so non-judgmental, group number 1. And people are really grateful for you because they feel that you will be there for them if and when they need you. But you'll also be there for them to celebrate the good days and to mourn the bad days, but you're also there for yourself. There's this essence of leading by example and also of letting yourself be seen and allowing others to feel seen too. So one of the biggest reasons that people are grateful for you, group number 1, is that you make them feel seen. You make them know that they have a safe space. You make them feel safe. You make them feel like everything is all right again. There's something about you where people might get, with difference in vibration, okay? They might feel your love and they might notice that they feel an expansion or an awakening by being around you. Now, this can be like an expansion in their heart space where they feel more open and they're kind of softening up a little bit. This can be an expansion in their mind, where perhaps you say something that opens up their framework a little bit more. It opens up their mind. Or, for others of you, this can be a situation where when people are around you, they feel like they are being spiritually activated or spiritually awakened as well. We do have 2 F's and 2 E's on this card, which is 66 and 55. People are grateful for you because you lead by example. How exactly you can utilize the power of love and gratitude to change your life and to help others out as well. There's something here about sound too. So people are really grateful for you, maybe the things that you say. If you practice sound healing, if you're a musician, or if you do anything that involves sound at all, something about listening to you. Maybe it's telling your story, reading your short stories, your poems, your books, listening to your music. Something about the vibration, the frequency of your sound. Maybe some of you just have a very soothing voice. ASMR is coming up, okay? People are grateful for you because they feel listened to, but there's also great value in listening to you as well. And so this is really beautiful. So let's see, group number 1, why are people grateful for you? You make everybody feel accepted. You're very non-judgmental, you're very open. There is this energy about you including everybody, making sure that everybody feels included, making sure that everybody is on a level playing field with everybody else, with you and everybody outside of you. We have the Lovers at the back of the deck. Underneath this is the 9 of Pentacles. 2 numbers of time, 6 and 9. There's the 6 of Wands popping out at the back of the deck. People are grateful for you because you help them choose love. You also help people feel very special. There's this energy that when you talk to somebody, group number one, you make them feel like they are the only person in the world, the most important person in the world. You make them feel so extremely heard, so extremely seen. You might have a lot of people who end up like crushing on you, group number one, whether or not you know it, because your communication skills and your listening skills are out of this world, and they make people feel really, really drawn to you, really, really safe around you. I'm hearing the term reparenting as well through my clairaudience. So you can be maybe the work you've done on yourself or just your aura, who you are, it reverberates and it helps other people to find clarity in those spots where maybe they felt a little bit less loved, a little less heard, a little less clarity, things like this. It's like you help people find solid ground. You help them see where they can put love in a situation, and that will always help with communication. People are also grateful for you too, because there's an energy here of being cultured as well. You might speak several different languages, and this might come in handy when you encounter different people. You could have traveled a lot, which might allow you to have a larger understanding of cultures around the world, which might help you relate to people a little bit better or from a little bit of a higher perspective, because you're not you don't hold the perspective of just your own community or just your own language or just your own culture or something like this. You're very well educated. People are really grateful for something that you have said, something that you have created, or something that you have left behind too. There's something that you do or something you have done that is not very common. And people are grateful that you are the one that took the initiative to do this. I'm hearing someone had to. So there's this energy here of you taking the initiative to grow, to create something, to change your own mind, to dive into your subconscious, to do the spiritual work, to walk away from something and live to tell the story. There is this energy here of your internal world being so abundant, and people are so grateful for you for letting your internal world be seen by either the public, the people in your life, or something like this, because it helps people ground and come to an understanding of where they are in life, where they can grow into. You almost maintain the frequency of love or gratitude or the universe, divine love. You hold this frequency that people can kind of compare and contrast with, but you are always at that vibration of love. So people can take a situation, hold it up, and almost attune it, not to you as an individual, but to love, to openness, to spirituality, to how can I transmute this energy, create something beautiful out of it. And there's also an energy of people are grateful for your ability to move forward, because there's something here where you could have solidified in some sort of pain of the past, and instead of staying there, you decided to learn the lessons that were being presented to you objectively. You decided to not keep your guard up. Instead, you decided to, again, transmute the energy, find the love in the situation, heal those wounds, do the work, and you've allowed yourself to step out of difficult situations. And whether or not it was easy, whether or not it was pleasant, you did it anyway. There's something here something here about something that you invest your time into or yourself into. I'm hearing svadhyaya, okay, self-study. There's something here that you invest your time or energy or brain power, brain space into, that people are really grateful that you do this as well. You might not always feel like you are appreciated externally, and it's because people are too busy with their noses down taking notes to kind of openly present themselves and say thank you to you, or to pick your brain as an individual, or to get close enough to you to be able to dive deeply into yourself. So there is something here about, well, group number one they probably just know how amazing they are. They just know that everyone is grateful for them. There's this energy here. They just know when to put their boundaries up and when to stay open. They just know how to transmute energy. They just know how to take something bad how to make lemonade out of lemons. And I'm hearing you know when to hold them, you know when to fold them. People are really, really grateful for your autonomy. Again, this recurring theme here is something that you have taken initiative towards, whether this is traveling, learning different cultures, understanding different thought groups, really studying one thing a lot, learning different languages, creating your art, your craft, speaking up, making your music. Something here that you have invested your time into. People are so, so, so grateful for you for doing this, because this is having a large ripple effect on the community around you and the world at large as well. There's an energy here about your ripples being, the ripples that you create, being so precise and so consciously planned that they almost seem to be moving in slow motion. And people see this too. So there's an energy where they're grateful for you because you show them that you show people not to be in a rush, not to rush their healing, not to rush their success, not to rush anything in life. And at the same time, you show them that the quickest and easiest way to work through anything is to slow down, honor that space, and show up for 5 minutes. Show up for yourself and allow yourself to let it be okay for your health to be okay, your mind, your body, your spirit to be okay. It's okay to be happy. You're supposed to be. It's okay to not be okay, and to honor that. That is the quickest route to being okay. This is why people are grateful for you. You really, really hold space for those in your life, and this creates a ripple effect where people take your example and they pay this forward. There is this energy too of people asking themselves, what would group 1 do in this situation? Or how would group 1 react or respond? How would group 1 see this? Your perspective is coming out here as very valuable and one of the huge reasons why people are grateful for you. There's an energy here as well of being a builder, but also being a nurturer. People are grateful that you have a very good balance of masculine and feminine energies because you help them to perhaps break some old paradigms that they might have pertaining to a particular energy. This can be masculine, this can be feminine, this can be people who live in your area or people who have the job that you have. There is some sort of perfect balance that you have that is almost opening up a narrative that people used to have. Not about you, but about something or someone in general. There's something here about you being very colorful, you being very playful, you being very happy-go-lucky, and it not being out of perhaps privilege or because you've only had easy experiences in your life, but because you choose to, without spiritually bypassing, you choose to acknowledge the bad and honor it, but you choose to focus on the good. People are grateful for you because you embody a dualistic nature. You embody your light, you embody your shadow, but the one that you choose to feed is your light. And there's something here about you always being open and honest too. The Empress is a very responsible card. The Star has huge dreams. It's a healer. It represents wish fulfillment, having hope and faith in the future. There is something here where people who have known you for a long time, group 1, they see you as perhaps the one that got away, or perhaps as the one that made it out, or the one who just might figure it out, whatever that means for you. And so people are really, really grateful for you because you actually represent some sort of hope. You represent healthiness. You represent unconditional love. And group number 1, you remind people that there are people out there in the world that are good. You remind people that there are people out there like you. People can live a good life without always having it easy. Or people can have perhaps had it easy and not been fully naive. You show up and you invest your energy healthily, appropriately, wisely. I'm hearing wise beyond your wise beyond your years as well, group number 1. So you have released a lot of perhaps baggage or karma or heartbreak or difficult energies in your surroundings, and you have chosen to speak up and you've chosen to listen. So, group number 1, people are grateful for you because you are able to always meet them where they're at and offer them a bit of perspective, not in a judgmental way, not in a my way or the highway type of way, but in an unconditionally loving and understanding way. You do not judge people based upon their past, based upon their who they are at all whatsoever, internally or externally. You don't judge people, and you want the best for everyone all the time, everybody. And again, people are grateful for you because you show people what it looks like to do the work, to make it through something, and you also represent to a lot of people the light at the end of the tunnel. You represent to a lot of people what health, what wellness looks like, what perhaps connection to the universe, divine energy, spirituality, God, source, or just the world, connection to all cultures, connection to all of the world, right? So group number 1, people are so grateful for you because you continually open their minds through your open heart. You challenge people to challenge their own perspective, but only in a loving, gentle way, not in a forceful way, not in a guarded way. There's something here as well about your connection to just connection in general. Those who are in your life feel really, really lucky and grateful that you give them the time of day, that you've selected them to be in your life. But there's also a connection here coming out to nature. Maybe you are the kind of person who literally stops and smells the flowers. Maybe you are really into birds or plants or spending time in nature, connecting with everything. There is something about your connection with everything, everyone, or with nature, or with a particular element that you might be strongly called to. Maybe you are aquatic by nature. Maybe you love storms. Maybe you are always out in nature, getting yourself a little bit dirty, hugging trees, all of that beautiful stuff. Your connection with everything, your ability to just absolutely love, that is why people are grateful for you. Because there is I'm hearing it's indiscriminate energy. Because you look at an animal, you look at a plant, you look at any person, you look at yourself. You look at the world internally and externally, all through the lens of love, through gratitude. And that is a superpower. And people are really, really, really grateful for your presence in their life, for your example to follow. And there's something here about allowing yourself to believe again. Believe in your dreams. Believe in maybe God. Believe in opportunity. Believe in yourself. Believe in fairy tales, perhaps. To allow yourself to heal, to transmute, to transform, to transcend, to have a smile on your face and have it be genuine. There's also something here. People are really grateful for your authenticity, group number 1. And that authenticity is love. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's a little less black and white and a little more rainbow. And people love this about you. They're so grateful for you. And the people in your life really want to see you succeed too. They really want to see you reach and achieve all of your goals. They really want to see, this card right here is looking at me. What is this? 2 of Wands. They want to see what you end up doing, what you end up making of yourself, where you end up going. They also want to know what you think about When you're alone, this is coming up as well. People are really grateful when they get to learn you. And there's a real curiosity here about what is in your heart, or who is in your heart, or just the way that you were brought up, or the way that you educated or re-educated or parented or reparented yourself or others. People are grateful for the opportunity to learn you for those that do. And for those that maybe haven't had an opportunity to learn you all the way, they're grateful for getting to see you. I'm getting group number 1 that you always light up a room. There are people that maybe you know of, maybe like mutual friends that you aren't necessarily like really close with, but even these people are grateful for you because they notice that maybe you are the kind of person who has a beautiful smile, or you're always smiling, or you always dress really authentically, or you're very creative. There's also an energy here about people that you're not close with too, being grateful for you from afar, because even them like interacting with your energy like at a distance is a really beautiful and transcendental experience for them as well. And so that's really beautiful to see, group number 1. And there is something here too about you being like a survivor or a fighter, or you could have just locked into one mental framework and called it a day, like but you didn't. You kept going. You decided to open yourself up and release anything that didn't genuinely serve you. And you decided to be happy. You decided to heal. You decided to create something. You decided to share. You decided to walk away. You decided to invest your energy yourself. And this is why people are grateful for you. Because you are an amazing person. People see how strong you are, how strong you must have had to be, even if they don't have some of those inside details. I think that group number 1, people are really grateful for you because they see a lot more about you than you might be initially giving them credit for. Just because there's this energy of, in order for you to be who you are, you would have had to have gone through some sort of experience in order to get there. People aren't just born like you, group 1. You had to grow into that. And so while people might not necessarily know what you've been through that makes them grateful for you, they know that there's something. They're able to pick up on like the density of the energy or the length of a journey or something. They know that there's a lot more beneath the surface, and that's why they're grateful too. Because with or without knowing, you are a beacon of hope for people. You're a beacon of light for people. And you make people feel like, I'm hearing that song by Rihanna, The Only Girl in the World. Like, you make everybody feel like they are special, they are perfect the way they are loved, they are cared for, they are seen, they are heard. And that is really, really beautiful. People admire and are grateful for your heart space, your expression, your sense of self. And there's something here about people really wanting to dive into your upper and lower 2 chakras as well. They want to understand more about your belief system. They want to understand more about perhaps your third eye, about your perception, your intuition. They want to learn more about your sacral chakra, your creativity, the things that are pleasurable to you, the things you enjoy, some of your emotions. They also want to learn more about your roots, your security, your groundedness, your connection with nature, perhaps your financial status or your upbringing for some of you, where you've been. People see where you are, and they're so grateful for that, and they are grateful to be able to witness you on your journey. There's something here about you always honoring yourself in a way that allows you to honor others authentically as well. And people are grateful for you because whether you realize it or not, you give people the strength to walk away from pain and wounds and traumas and difficulties that they thought that they had to hold on to forever, that they thought they wouldn't get to heal through, that they thought, oh, this is just part of life. You show people that that doesn't have to be true, that there is hope, that you can walk away from things that might be a little bit not as socially cool, that you can heal anything if you believe and you show up gently, authentically, and consistently, that it can be okay. I'm hearing, this is so interesting, I'm hearing the No No song by Ringo Starr, so that can have messages in it for you as well. Your ability to say no and what you fill that new space with is so beautiful, and it gets more beautiful every time. And this is why people are grateful for you, group number 1. You are such a beautiful, beautiful person, and this energy is so beautiful. You are literally like a shining star. You might resonate with being an earth angel. You could be a starseed, a crystal child, an indigo child. You could literally just be, like as Carl Sagan says, we're all star stuff, but you literally are a star. Some of you might be in the public eye. Some of you might want to be in the public eye. Others of you, you're just a shiny, smiley, beautiful energy. Either way, group number 1, people are grateful for you because you shine everywhere you go all the time. And there's something about your smile and the twinkle in your eyes that show people like a new world, like something beautiful there is to be looking forward to. Like I'm hearing I'll have a group 1 is having. So there is just something really special and beautiful about your energy, and people are so grateful for the opportunity to encounter you, to there's also just one quick last message. There's an energy here as well about people who encounter you. The people that are so the people around the people that encounter you, they notice visceral changes in those people after encountering you, only positive. There's something very healing about your energy, and so you'll notice that people that you don't really know, that maybe like your mutual people that know people that are around you, or people that know people that you've interacted with, really are grateful for you too, because they see that you're making a positive change in the lives of the people that they love. And so I think that there's a little bit more appreciation and love for you out there, group 1, than you might currently recognize, and that's really beautiful to see. So that is all I have for you, group number 1. This is why people are grateful for you. I really hope you like this message. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot, and I love what I do so very much. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste. Hi there, group number 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we are taking a look at why people are grateful for you. You selected the second group with Expect the Unexpected. Now, the first thing that I'm picking up for you, group number 2, is that people are grateful for your mind. With Expect the Unexpected, there is something that is unsuspecting about you. There is something about you where you are very multidimensional. You don't fit in one box. There is a lot about you, who you are, and your emotional reactions, maybe the way that you feel towards things, your intellect, the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way you present yourself, that doesn't necessarily fit a particular mold. People are grateful for you because there's something about you that keeps growing. It just keeps expanding, keeps evolving, keeps getting better with time. They're saying like a fine wine, you get better with age. Like you get wiser. Maybe as you age, you are actually looking younger, you're getting healthier. There's something here about you being very smart and very tactical, but also like, I'm hearing someone say, wow, I didn't see that coming. People are grateful for you because you have transformed your life, and it lets them kind of see what can occur when you put yourself first, when you go down a self-love journey, when you follow your faith, and when you're confident in yourself. There's something here about your intellect and your confidence that is seemingly like unmatched in some way. And so people are really grateful for this too. You can be a thought leader in some way. Maybe you're an inventor. There's something here about your unique, I'm hearing inheritance, or your unique like internal nature that people are really, really grateful for. Your individuality is what makes you you. And I'm also hearing to tell you that there are some people that have their eyes on you that you might not necessarily be suspecting at this point in time, okay? For some of you, there is one particular person that you've been picking up on. For others of you, there are some energies that you would never even guess that are watching you. And there's a reason why it's like covert almost, okay? So with expect the unexpected, there's a little bit of a nod here, just as an aside, to expect some unexpected communication or an unexpected gift or event to occur in your life as a result of this. But getting back to why people are grateful for you, group number 2, people are grateful for you because you seem to always come from an abundant mindset. You remind people to breathe, but you also remind people that anything is possible, and this is why people are grateful for you. When people are kind of stuck, maybe like in a little slump, or when people are having a bad day, or if they feel like something is the end of the road, you are in some way, shape, or form the one to remind them that anything is possible. You are the energy that reminds people of maybe it's magic, maybe it's astrology, maybe it's healing, maybe it's hope or optimism, or well, rationally, according to quantum mechanics and the laws of nature, if you experience this, then you have to experience that, and you are able to like rationalize like optimism. You're able to rationalize like you're very innovative. You're able to rationalize the possibility of everything in a sense. And even if you're just playing on statistics, it's like for some reason you always seem to be either on the right timeline or able to identify the right step, the right next move. It's like you always have a trick up your sleeve. You always know what to do next. You always have a smart, innovative idea. Like you always have a way to mix it up a little bit. And so this is what people are really grateful for about you. You can be the kind of person, group number 2, maybe you change your hair color quite a bit. Maybe you have a plethora of styles. Maybe you don't wear the same fashion all the time. Maybe one day you use one style and the next day you like are feeling a little bit of yourself in another way. There's something here where what the way that you are is not like, it's almost never the way that you seem when people first meet you, because there's this multi-dimensionality to you. For example, maybe you're dressed all preppy the day that someone meets you, so they might think that you're preppy. And the next time that they see you, you're dressed like all in black with some combat boots. And so that kind of challenges their perspective, and they say, okay, well, that's dualistic. But then maybe the next time they see you after that, you are dressed in a totally different, like super like fashion forward kind of way. This is kind of showing that this and that can be true. Expect the unexpected from you, and that you always kind of have like your own authenticity, your own style, your own something. This can be even in your expression and in your sense of self too. Like I'm hearing affirmations in the mirror as well too. Like maybe some days you walk around and you're like, they're showing me a lot of like aesthetic kind of things, although I'm sure that this goes way deeper than this, group number 2, but they're showing me like one day you really want your eyes to pop. Then the next day, maybe you really want your booty to pop, okay? Then the next day, it's your legs. Maybe the day after that, it's like your personality and your smile. Or maybe it's the day after that, it's like your whole aura, you know? It's like, there's always like there's always something different that you're focusing on, something different that you can be working on, or something. You always have a trick or 2 or 12 up your sleeve, group number 2. And this is why people are grateful for you. There's something else that wants to come out here before I get into your tarot cards. Let's see what it is. They don't want me to use Sakini. They want me to use Akash. Okay. Group number 2. People are grateful for you because even when you cut ties, you do it through love. Okay, they're showing me the word X and expect, and this is letting me know that there are people, oh, and unexpected, yeah, okay, both expect. Okay, there's this energy here of you releasing things with love, okay, you growing out of things. People are grateful for you because maybe you used to have some bad habits that you've grown out of, okay, and you are then showing people that something that they thought was impossible is possible. Maybe you've ended some tough relationships, friendships, any sort of relationship or situation, scenario in your life, but you still look back with love. Maybe you left a really toxic job, but you're still friends with your boss. Maybe you left behind an old family member, but you still have nothing but positive things to say about them. Maybe you had a really messy relationship with somebody, but it's still all love. You would still be there for that person, regardless of what happened between you, because it's not between, this is the Mother Teresa prayer coming up, because it's not between you and them, it's between you and Source, you and God, you and the universe. And so with expect the unexpected, it's like, you always have another trick up your sleeve, and it's always high vibrational. it's always innovative, very inventive, and it's also grounded and rooted in love. And this is why people are grateful for you. It's like, you never know. I'm hearing them, never let them know your next move. Like, that is why people are grateful for you. Like, you are very curious. It's like when people try to keep up with you, you're already onto something else. And that is and of itself something that is what makes you rise. It's what makes you shine. There's something here about perhaps maybe getting bored easily, but also being able to stay put. Maybe there's this energy, okay, not about like necessarily like boredom, but of always wanting something to be like beautiful and pretty and high vibrational. You can be very active, okay? You might be the kind of person who's always looking for a way to kind of improve upon situations. Like, okay, how can I make you feel more seen and heard? Okay, well, this is a beautiful place. How can we make it more fun to exist in? Okay, this is a great job. How can we push it to the next level? There's always something here where you are Queen of Swords. Ooh, you are using your mind, your intellect, your words to level up like everything in your life all the time. It's like you are constantly on the level up. And people are grateful for you about this too, because it reminds them that they too can level up. It shows them that they can kind of do whatever they want. Like, that means whatever you want it to mean. Like, you can level up in, I don't know, changing the way that you do your makeup. You can level up in deciding not to do your makeup. You can level up in going to the left or in going to the right. There's literally no, like, leveling up is a feeling, you know? And the way that the way that you describe yourself is probably always transforming. The way that you express yourself is always transforming. And people are grateful for this too, because it lets them know that they don't have to stay in a box. They don't have to be what the world told them to be. They don't have to follow societal standards, or they can follow societal standards and still make it individual. Queen of Swords, okay? People are grateful for your ability to set boundaries, because Queen of Swords with Temperance, okay? This allows you to have more space in your life for freedom, for, I'm hearing devotion as well. Some of you, maybe you prioritize your devotion, your prayer, your yoga, your meditation, your energy work, something like this. You're able to devote yourself to your passion, to your love, to your belief system. You're able to devote yourself to moving forward, moving onwards and upwards all the time, which is gorgeous. 7 of Cups, 6 of Wands, and the Sun. People are grateful for you, group number 2, because you have beautiful boundaries. Beautiful boundaries. I'm hearing what used to be a wall is now a picket fence, but it's like you need to, oh my gosh, there is literally a tiny fence that just fell over as I was saying that outside my window. Holy moly. It's like you will let your guard totally down for people who deserve it, but everybody doesn't get to walk through. But it's like you'll give anybody the time of day. You'll give anybody an opportunity. You're also always truthful, and people are grateful for this too. Like, you will always say it exactly how it is, and people are so grateful for this because, like group number 2, I'm getting people go to you when they need to hear the truth, and you'll always be gentle about it. You'll always be totally honest about it too, but you'll always, it's like you know how to temper it too. Temperance with the Knight of Pentacles, it's giving like 1 inch and then 1 more inch and then another inch. So maybe someone's like, all right, like, what do you think about my partner? Okay, what do you think about the situation? Be honest. And you'll be like, well, here's something small and gentle, and I can explain it to you more, or I can leave it there. But you will never not be honest, whether it's good or bad or anything. And you still have this gentle and loving way of identifying this and expressing this too. Because with the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, this is indicating that a lot of times when people come to you for help, it's because it's not anything that you haven't had to work through yourself. Whether or not they know this, people might find themselves really, really drawn to you and grateful for your ability to be there for everyone in every situation, not knowing how you somehow always see the light at the end of the tunnel. And this group number 2 is because of your own path. I'm getting that people are very grateful that you okay, this is interesting. They're saying that you don't trauma dump on people, okay? You don't go around like telling other people all of the things that make your life harder than everyone else's, but you're always somehow there with the right answer for people who are going through difficult things. And it's because you've most likely been through everything under the sun and don't feel the need to talk about it because you've healed through that too, that my life is harder than everyone else's kind of ideology. And people are grateful that you don't level, okay? People are grateful for your emotional maturity. They're grateful for your intellect. They're grateful for your ability to just pick it up and move on. There are some energies here about people who have done you wrong in the past, and you call it water under the bridge. Not in a way where your boundaries, this is where the boundaries are coming up. It's water under the bridge, and the fact where there is unconditional love and maybe redefining of a relationship, right? Maybe, like, look, I'll still love you, but I don't really think we should still be in each other's lives kind of vibe. Or, I still love you, and we can be, like, sometimes friends, but I don't really think I want to be, like, your life partner. Like, healthy boundaries, right? Like, your value as a person is not, you don't devalue anyone else. You see everyone as, like, as worthy, as valuable, as love, as honorable, as amazing and beautiful and perfect, and you can still hold that belief system and have enough space for yourself, still have healthy boundaries. And that is something that not a lot of people can grow through, and honor actively. So that's something huge here. There are a lot of people who are looking back from your past that are really grateful for you. There's this energy here of, as time goes by, people kind of start to recognize some of the truths that you had said to them, and they watch, like, maybe your predictions unfold, if you're into that. Some of them, they recognize that things that you said that they were not ready to deal with were true, and they become true. People are grateful for you because you seem to always have the answer, but you don't walk around like that. You don't walk around like, oh, I know everything. You don't walk around like, oh, I have the answer, you should listen to me. You walk around keeping it close to your chest. There's this energy of you. This is also part of the multidimensionality. People are grateful for you because you seemingly, it's like you use the tricks of the trade on yourself. Okay, whatever that means for you with the chariot, you use them for yourself to change your own life, to practice what you preach, to make yourself happy and mind your own dang business, okay? And you express this too. And this is gorgeous. This is why people are grateful for you. You give people space when they need space. You might even know when people need space and they don't. But you're not going to say, oh, you need space right now. You'll just gently give them a little space. People are grateful for you, group number 2, because you are able to provide seemingly anything to everyone, but you will always provide for yourself first so that you can show up authentically for others. And this is a big deal because this recognizes that you have really strong boundaries, but you're also really loving, you're really nurturing, you're really caring, you're very creative, you're very smart, because you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. You have to take care of yourself and care about yourself in order to take care of or be there for somebody else. You have to heal yourself before you can heal others. And this is something that a lot of people try to bypass, in a sense of, like, neglecting doing the internal work. And this is something where it's clear to see that you actively do the internal work. You never tell anyone else to do the work, but you will be there to support it along the way. And you always, you can always pack a punch. You always know what the truth is. You can always see a situation from a higher perspective. You always see a way out. You always have a new, constructive, innovative idea. And you're always there to support the process too, through love. And this is beautiful, group 2. People are really grateful for you because there just keeps being this energy of people who used to be in your life that really aren't anymore, and they know that there's no hard feelings. There's this energy of people being grateful for you because they know that it's like they know that you cheer them on from afar and they cheer you on from afar. It's like you would never, I'm hearing a cheerleader by OMI, like you would never ever not cheer anybody on. Like, you are such a beautiful support for people's lives. There's this energy of you being so responsible for yourself and sometimes yourself and others that it's like you couldn't be the problem. Because if something gets brought to your attention, you face it right away. If someone says, hey, I don't like how you behaved, you'll say, oh, well, I understand that presented a trigger for you, but also let me look internally and see what could have caused me to behave in that way. And you do the internal work. You always take up extra space to do a little extra internal work, to take a little extra responsibility, to go the extra mile, to be a little extra creative with your shadow work, your healing, whatever it is. It's like you might have new ideas. Thought leader is coming out again. Okay, you might have told someone many years ago, oh, I can see you doing this, and that person might have brushed it off, and then 5 years later, that's exactly the thing they end up doing. And then they think about you and they go, what was that advice they gave me again? And they follow it. And it works. And it's the only thing that works. Group number 2. There's also this energy here of you just always moving forward, always on the up and up, always leveling up, always like changing and growing. You're not in I am just the way that I am and you're gonna have to deal with it kind of person. You're not an it is what it is kind of person. You are a co-creating with the universe kind of person. You take initiative where you can, you surrender when you can, and you listen. You listen and you try and you show up. And that's beautiful. And that's why people are grateful for you. Your work ethic does not go unnoticed either, group number 2. And this is why people are really, really grateful for you. There's some energy surrounding you picking up the slack for others, maybe in your career, in your field of expertise, in your family, or just like around the neighborhood. There's an energy here of you picking up a little extra slack than what is your responsibility pretty much all the time. And so don't think that your work ethic doesn't go unnoticed, whether this is in your career, in your social life, in your emotions, in your relationships at all either. So people are really grateful for this part of you as well. There is definitely a specific person that's coming to mind here, okay? And by this, they're saying like different, like there's somebody else who wears different hats in your life, or maybe there's like a common energy thread, you know, when you meet the same person in different bodies until you learn the lesson. Or if there's one person in your life who also can wear many hats and has your relationship with them has taken many forms over the course of your life, kind of one of the other, that same transformative energy, okay? You have broken out of this cycle and you have shown others that you can break out of the cycle. And this is something that's a really big deal, okay? You are always transforming, but you're never stuck to one definition. Like anything at all whatsoever, you can always release that belief system and expand it. Not in a way that you believe anything that you're told, but in a way that you are not so closed-minded or closed-hearted. Like you're always open. And you know, when we walk through the spiritual path, it does require a lot of faith in our own experience, because sometimes we will be told things that simply are not true. And sometimes you will have to trust your intuition. You have to trust the information that you are receiving straight from the source, and allow any framework that might negate that might disagree with that, to dissolve. And that takes a lot of stress. It takes a lot of strength as well. And so there's this energy here about you always looking up, you always having faith in your intuition, you always connecting the dots that's coming up to, you know that everything is connected. So people are grateful for you for this as well, because they're able to see that, I'm hearing, like once is an anomaly, twice is a pattern, right? 3 times is a cycle. So there's something like this they're able to pick up on, where you know that everything is a sign. If something occurs multiple times in a row, you know that there's a common thread. You're able to always identify the source of everything. And that can be because you're really tapped into source, because you are really tapped into God. Okay, that's coming up quite a bit. You might be very devotional. You could be, you could talk to the angels. You could pray a lot. You could do meditation. You could practice yoga. Insert your own belief and devotional practice here. But your devotion to this, maybe it's even like science, okay? Your devotion to this is something that people really, really are grateful for about you, because it kind of shows the people in your life that anything is possible when you believe. Anything. And that can be when you believe in God, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in the universe, when you believe in science. They're showing me like solving a math equation that no one's been able to solve before. If you believe that you can do it, and you put in the time and you put in the effort, and you maybe even release some of the things that you thought that you expected to walk through, release expectations, then anything is possible. And that's why people are grateful for you, because you kind of do, in a sense, like pop out of nowhere. You might be very synchronistic. I'm getting the universe works through you a lot, group number 2. Some of the things that you say really just hit the nail on the head. And sometimes people might grow into understanding it years down the line, and other times it is in live time. You will say something and people will just say, how did you say exactly what was going on my mind? Like, how did you know that? And it's because you've walked through it yourself. It's because you're able to see where you've been, which lets me know that you've lived quite a life, group number 2. And because you continue to move forward, life continues to give you experiences. And because you continue to embrace these experiences, you continue to grow. And this makes you very experienced. This makes you very intellectual, very wise, very knowledgeable. And so people are really grateful for you. There is an energy here about you having a larger capacity for both love and pain than the average person. There's also an energy here about... Okay, this is weird that it's coming up kind of as how people are grateful for you, but it's going back again to the, like, you don't trauma dump, you don't make your problems other people's problems. People are grateful for you because you seem to maybe downplay some of the difficulties that you've been through. You seem to maybe move through love instead of move through wounding. They say hurt people, or at least are abrasive, and healed people heal people, or at least like send love and light. There's kind of this energy here too. It's like you do the work. Like, you always do the work, and you even do a little more work than what, like, you do extra work to make up for it in the first place. It's like you're the kind of person, maybe you clean your apartment, but you also kind of like clean the common space too. You clear your own energy, but you also take the time to clear the energy of your loved ones too. You do your own fair share of work, but you maybe pick up a little bit of extra slack around the office or the studio or whatever it is as well. And so people are really grateful for you. They definitely see this, but they also never hear a complaint come out of your mouth. And this is why people are grateful for you too, because they're able to recognize that there's a lot more to you than meets the eye, but there's a reason for this, and people are still trying to put their finger on your reason. And every time that someone thinks they get close, it's like something comes out of left field again. Like you dress a little differently the next day, or you express yourself a little differently the day after that, or you come in talking about an entire artist's discography that no one even knew you liked that genre of music, or something like this. There is just with you, group number 2, it's like there's always more of where that came from, and there's always a surprise. There's always something new. You are just something that keeps unfolding and blossoming, just like the universe. You're always infinitely expanding. You're always growing. You're always leveling up. And people are really grateful for you. Now, this seems a little bit more like observational about you. And this is definitely, we are picking up on energies of people who have been in your life in the past. And they've watched you do a lot alone. And the reason why... Oh, okay. So, okay. This is why. This is the connective energy here. Some people are grateful for you in your life because you knew when to give them the space to work through their own stuff, instead of trying to do it for them. Instead of being there, sometimes you need your cheerleader to be on the sidelines, screaming in your face, waving around your pom-poms. But sometimes you need to cheerlead from a distance, where someone doesn't know that you're there. They need to sit down, do their own dang work, and take a good, hard look at yourself. Take a good, long, hard look at themselves. And this is something that you've done, and this is something that you know, something that you continue to do. So people are grateful for you too, because you will always say it how it is, but you also will always give people space to do their own work. But you're also willing to show up, roll up your sleeves, and do as much work, like do as much as you can for yourself and those that you love. But that doesn't mean that you always are showing up doing that. It means that when it's appropriate, you already are there, and you're already helping, when it honors you and everybody else. But you are also aware of when it doesn't honor you or others for you to roll up your sleeve and do work for others. And that is why people are grateful for you too. You have this very intuitive nature about you. It's like you know what people need before they do. You know what the trends are, maybe, before they get trendy. There's something here about predicting patterns, predicting trends. Like maybe you wear your hair a certain way, and then like you wear your hair like that every single day for a year, and then a year after you start doing that, that becomes the trend. And the second that people start to put the dots together, you're already doing something else. And you're like, oh, that was old news. It's giving like knowing a band before they go on the radio and then being like, oh yeah, that album came out 5 years ago, something like this. But it's in like not in a precocious way, it's in a loving way. In a, like, you listen to the underdog music, so you kind of get you learn who's on the scene, not just what you're told to listen to. Maybe you study some occult practices, or maybe you do show up and you do the work. So even if you're the CEO of a company, you know what the janitor deals with on his day-to-day life, because you've cleaned the toilets too. The people who used to be in your life, it's like you know what it takes to walk through that difficulty because you held their hand through it, or because you walked through it yourself, or because you sent them love and light from afar. This is why people are grateful for you. It's like you always seem to know what to do, when to do it, and it's like you're always ahead of the curve. You always have another trick up your sleeve. You always have something that surprises people. Like maybe people are like, oh, okay, group number 2, that's the music guy. All right, and then it's like, oh, it's the music and the Ayurveda guy. Oh, and it's the music and the Ayurveda and the skateboarding guy. Oh, it's the music, Ayurveda, skateboarding, like drawing guy. Like there's always something more. There's always something more, and you're always leveling up. Like, and I don't know, this energy kind of reminds me of somebody that is very near and dear to my heart. You'll know who this is, so if you're watching it, hi. Otherwise, it's kind of this energy of just like unconditional love, like seeing somebody, like people are grateful for you because you kind of show people that there are people who show up. There are people who do the dirty work. There are people who don't fit the mold that they seem like they're supposed to fit in. But simultaneously, you still fit in everywhere. Like you are in addition to every group. You are in every room that you are in, and you're so ahead of your time. That's why people are grateful for you. It's like you're always 10 steps ahead. You're always ahead of your time. You always bring like intellectually stimulating conversation. You can always like be a beautiful addition to any situation that you're in. There's something here about you being like a secret tool or a secret weapon. Like people who aren't in your life anymore, or people who barely know you, they like maybe brag about having known you or having dated you. They are grateful for you because they are still learning from you, even if they're not still in your life. There are people as well who are currently in your life who, it's like they see you as like their secret weapon. It's like they know they're going to have a good time if you're around. Like they know they'll learn something new if you're around. They know that they'll get maybe like, I'm hearing someone say street cred, or like they'll be in the right room. Like if they're in the same room as you, they know that they're in the right room. And people are grateful for you because you kind of, like you are assurance to people, which is really interesting. It's like, if you're there, someone's going to learn. If you're there, someone's gonna heal. If you're there, someone's gonna open their heart. And if you're there, there's always gonna be some sort of unexpected little sprinkle or miracle or sparkle or information, or there's always something new with you. So that's really cool as well. People are really grateful for your ability and belief in anything too. I'm hearing group 2 is like riding a bicycle. At first, you kind of have to get the hang of it, but once you're on, it's second nature, okay? Kind of in the expect the unexpected avenue. Like at first, you're like, I don't understand how all these pieces go together, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, that's just group 2. That's why we love group 2. That's why we're grateful for group 2, because group 2, like, pushes boundaries. Group 2 is ahead of the time. Group 2 is innovative. Group 2 is smart, and they're tough and they're soft. They're lovely and they're a force to be reckoned with. They're smart and they're silly. Like they're mature and they're also childlike. Like there's this beautiful energy about you, and this is why people are grateful for you, because you remind them that it's okay to expect the unexpected, that it's okay to just kind of switch up and grow and level up. And you also let them know that it's okay to express yourself however is authentic to you in the moment, and that it's okay to be wherever you're at, and that it's okay to let people go with love. You don't always have to be like, snip, snip, screw you, like you're a bad person. No. It's just, you are an unconditional, unending beacon of love. It's like even people who have maybe hurt you in the past, it's like they look at you and they see your heart, And they're grateful for you because they're like, wow, if I had treated anybody else that way, I would be in for it, you know, and you just still love them. And that in and of itself is a lesson. That in and of itself is an experience. And that's just beautiful. It's beautiful about you, group 2. And that's not saying that you deserve anything like, you know, weird or crappy to happen to you, but it is certainly saying that there's something to be said about your character, about your authenticity, about your intelligence, and your ability to move onward and move upward. And that is why people are grateful for you. Because you show people that there's always more where that came from. And you never really can tell what that's going to look like. But it's always going to be amazing. And it's always going to be beautiful. And it's always going to be unexpected. Okay, group 2. So this is why people are grateful for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out so much. And I love what I do. And your energy is so amazing. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste. Hi, group 3. Namaste. And thank you so much for being here today. I felt really cheery tapping into your energy just now. Today we're taking a look at why people are grateful for you. And I'm getting that a lot of this has to do with your maybe cheeriness, your optimism, your perspective. But with Through the Looking Glass, I'm hearing that you're optimistic and you also don't sugarcoat things. There's this duality to you, which I think is really cool. It's like, it's all truth, okay? But there's also absolutely no BS, okay? It's all truth and it's all love. And sometimes love is tough love. Sometimes love is not sugarcoating things, to be honest, but it is still always being optimistic. You know, it's, hey, I think that maybe this isn't the healthiest thing and I can't hold this in and pretend like it's okay, because it's not. But would you like a solution? Would you like a shoulder? Like, there's a way around this. It's just this kind of, you're always willing to see things from another angle. Through the Looking Glass. This is, in a sense, an indication of Alice in Wonderland, so that can be significant too. People are grateful for you because you're kind of like their white rabbit. Like, you lead them down the rabbit hole into like this big magical mystery land that they never would have expected to find themselves landing in. And they're showing me the word rough in through. Okay, so it's like you've been through it. You've been through the thick of it. And when things are rough, you find the softness in the situation. And when there is a little too much leeway, you are there to show up determined. This is almost an energy of you being the balance in any given situation. You could have like a Libra Venus, Libra Mars. You could have like Saturn in the 7th house or Saturn in Libra or something like this. And another reason why people are grateful for you is I'm getting that you are, you are easily accessible. Okay, so group number 3, you might be the kind of person who is always there for your friends and family. You might be the kind of person who always texts back. You will always stop what you're doing for someone else. Or alternatively, you can be a humanitarian. You could perhaps have a platform where you, in some way, shape, or form, it's like you look at any energy and you find balance to it. You either get to the bottom of it, you help people see this needs to be healed, this needs to be brought into balance, or this is how you can grow out from this. Whichever direction you take when approaching this energy, you're able to see it clearly. Putting your own mindset aside and allowing yourself to expand open-mindedly. This is beautiful, and this is why people are so grateful for you, because they know if you're saying something to them, if you're offering advice, or if you are saying something like this, group number 3, people trust what you have to say, because even if you have a particular opinion on something, if that's not the information that you're picking up as truth, if that's not the way that this situation balances out, that's not going to be what you're going to say. Like, you're not ever going to say something that doesn't vibrate with the frequency of truth and unconditional love. And sometimes this might be, causing you yourself to maybe have spiritual awakenings, to change your mindset, to change your perspective. And that's something that you are willing to do. A great example of this, not in a way that like shifts your morals and values, but a great example of this would be, say you're on your self-love journey and you're like, I need to put myself first. I put other people first way too often. I need to prioritize myself and then pay it forward from there. When I'm overflowing, I got to make sure that I'm good. You're on your self-love journey and someone lets you know, hey, I kind of felt disregarded. Then, at this point, you will not neglect your self-love journey, but you might still take a moment to Reflect on that. Take accountability. Hold yourself responsible. Do some internal searching. See, why would that person feel disregarded? And it might be because it's a situation where someone was benefiting from you not having boundaries. It can also be a situation where maybe you are swinging the pendulum a little far the other way and it needs to come back into balance. But either way, people are grateful for you because you will always, always show up. You will always show up to do the work. You will always be there for a higher perspective. And I'm definitely getting this ethereal and almost stoic energy from you guys. Group number 3, there's something here where you are, in a lot of senses, like you are perhaps looking tough when you're feeling fragile, or feeling fragile when you're being tough. Like there's this duality to you. Glass. The first thing that's coming to mind is like glass is fragile, but it's also showing me like a kaleidoscope. Your ability to see the different refractions of everything. Like you can look at something like, say, a romantic relationship or your career, and you'll look at, okay, well, how's the root chakra doing? How's the sacral chakra doing? And you're able to look at it through all different perspectives, or maybe align them with each of the zodiacs. Your ability to find balance objectively. That's what we're looking at here. People appreciate your objectivity, and they also appreciate your open-mindedness, your open heart, and also your ability to kind of lead them down rabbit holes. You might be like a teacher. Okay, you might be, there's like a plant medicine coming to mind. You could like lead vision quests. I'm just gonna sprinkle that there because I'm posting this on the internet, but there's something here about you definitely leading people through situations, through the other side. It's like you provide a guided light for them. This is really cool. They're showing me like a vision that I receive quite often when I'm giving my readings. You with a torch, like walking somebody or a group of people through a tunnel that you've walked through before, so that you can see the other side. You know that it's there. You know where to find it. You know which path to take to get there, and you're holding a beacon of light for others so that you can guide them. And the people that you're guiding, they might not even believe, they might not know whether or not there is a light at the end of the tunnel, let alone an exit to the tunnel. They might not be able to see who else is in the tunnel with them. They might not be sure if they believe you or not, but you're kind of their only option. And you have been through the tunnel several times. So you're able to lead people through situations and help them like gain clarity, help them increase in love for themselves and for others as well, but not in a sense that holds ego, like you're right all the time, but in a sense that is confident, but also humble. It's like, with Judgment and King of Cups here, people are grateful for you because you represent, like a humble confidence. You show people that someone can be confident in themselves because they know what they're doing. Not because of arrogance or because they're trying to fake it until they make it. There's this energy about you where you don't fake anything. But you're also not a beginner. And when you are, or if something catches you by surprise, you'll contemplate on it because you don't think that you are bigger or greater than anything or anyone else, but you're confident enough to make it happen when you are sure. We have Judgment with King of Cups. People are grateful for you because you're very decisive. You're decisive about your feelings. So the people in your life, whether they're close or far, they know that they wouldn't even be around if you hadn't like maybe spent a week thinking about it or meditating on it or asking your spirit guides, pulling your tarot cards, whether this is spiritual or not. Okay, there's this energy here where people are grateful for you because they feel like having a spot in your life is a gift. There's something here about your circle being kind of close, or like your close friends being like actually a tight circle, but they also know that you know how to have a good time. Okay, there's something here about you know when to have fun and you know when to be serious. Because life is kind of serious, but it's also not that serious. There's that duality here. This balance. This balance between being so independent that you can let loose, but also being so independent that you can show up for yourself. Look at all of these cards coming out. We have 1 Pentacles, 1 Wands, 1 Cups, 1 Major Arcana, and the only thing that's not showing up is air. So people here are waiting to hear what it is you have to say. People are grateful for you because you're a great listener, and also because you don't, there's something here I'm hearing, you don't speak unless spoken to, or maybe you don't just insert yourself in situations. You might always have like really good advice, or maybe you see someone struggling through something that you've been through before, but you're not going to show up and just kind of tell tell people how it is. It's not in an egoic sense. It's in a vibration that's very humanitarian, but it's very, you already know to only help people who are looking for help and are willing to receive help and are willing to put in the work to help themselves. Because when you do the work, you're the one that has to do it, and you know this because you've done it. And you can lead people. It's like you can teach, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, okay? Because it's not your responsibility what other people do. And people are really grateful for you for this too, because I'm getting that you're surrounded by a lot of maybe people pleasers, a lot of spiritual people, a lot of very emotional people, or a lot of very independent, or like hyper independent or hyper codependent people. And so you kind of like show a large variety of people that central access point where that balance is. You might have some workaholics around you, and you might remind them to be a bit more gentle with themselves. You might have some people who are way too easy with themselves, and you just are showing them by example that it's okay to show up determined, because that's how you succeed. And once you find your fulfillment within, when you show up gently, but show up nevertheless, and be gentle nevertheless, then you find your personal fulfillment. And from here, you're able to celebrate, you're able to move along, move on. Okay, you keep it moving. And Six of Wands, people are grateful for you because you shine. Okay, I'm hearing there's a Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj, I think, where she's like, I shine like a star in the sky, but to live doesn't mean you're alive. Yes. Okay. Okay, we have Six of Wands with Justice, and 9. I'm hearing Love Song by The Cure. So The Cure or the Band 311 can be significant. We have 99 coming out here with 4 of Cups. And there's something here where you might have your walls up a little bit, which is another reason people around you are grateful for you, because they might feel like, just a reiteration, like you might not let people in very easily. You don't let people in on what you've been through to achieve your current level of success, whether it's mind, body, spirit, in your career, in your relationships. There's something about you that is a bit of a mystery, and you kind of like to keep it that way. So the people that have gotten to know you in a deeper sense, or the people who are around you, definitely feel very grateful for just the fact that you've trusted them. I'm getting that you have a interesting, I'm hearing like a no BS meter. Okay, so group number 3, I'm getting that you know immediately whether you can trust somebody, or whether like your heart is safe in their hands. You might already know, if you're like intuitive or psychic or anything like this, you might right away be able to kind of tell the most likely outcome for certain things. We know timelines are always changing and shifting, but you might see like, okay, there's an 80% chance that this person's gonna do something weird and then leave and then come back, but they have a good heart. Or like there's a 30% chance that this person's gonna stand on what they're telling me right now. Just like timeline statistics, things like this, probability, of course. There's this energy here where people know to listen to what you say, because they know that you know what you're talking about, because you are walking, living, breathing truth, because you practice what you preach. But you don't preach everything you practice. I think that came out in my channeled message from the Mantids, I believe. So there's something like this, okay? That is kind of a collective that can be either lesser known or a bit controversial, depending on whether the perspective is a first-hand experiencer or not. And that is also kind of what this is giving as well. People who have experienced you firsthand are grateful for that opportunity, because it doesn't come around a lot. But it is kind of like, it's elusive, it's kind of sought after. But people are also grateful for you because you remind them to stand on their own 2 feet. You kind of give people this this idea, this crazy, wild idea, that they can achieve their dreams. That if they decide to look at something from a new perspective, do what it is that they love with their life, they find their path, their calling, they follow their heart, they step into heart-mind coherence, they put their own 2 feet on the ground, take responsibility for their own mind, body, spirit. They too can enjoy their life, be successful, and be where they want to be. Anybody, no matter where they're at, can have a new beginning in the way that they desire. Because there's 99 indicates the future. It indicates freedom. It indicates passion. But we have Wands and Swords coming out here. Notice that the only Swords card that came out here is 9 of Swords, the card of stress, sleepless nights, anxiety, a little bit of, maybe nightmares or things like this. There's this energy here where you might be able to see the brightest version of people's future. And give them kind of a hint as to which direction to go if they wish to achieve that. Now, of course, you're not going to tell anybody what to do, but this might have to do with taking responsibility, taking accountability, letting yourself be seen, finding your path, putting yourself first in your self-love journey, and then becoming humanitarian, because you have to care about yourself in order to care about others. Otherwise, it's deflection. And with 20 and 6 here, you could be like 26 years old. 2026 could be an interesting or prominent year coming up, or February 6th could be significant, as well as like February 10th. I'm also getting 2006 could be significant. I don't usually pull dates, so if any of those strung a chord for you, just keep a little mental note. You help people find their direction, and this is why people are grateful for you. You help people if they are willing to receive the help and put in the work themselves. You could be like an astrologer, you could be just very intuitive, you could be like an energy channeler, or just really good at understanding people. Either way, you help people find their path. You help people identify where they're meant to be by challenging their perspective about what it is that's in their heart, what it is in their mind, and then challenging them to synchronize the two and then take action in that direction. And that is leaving your opinion out of it. That is letting other people be who they are, obviously, experience their truth, their authenticity, their energetic sovereignty. That is what you do. This is why people are grateful for you. You encourage and honor their energetic sovereignty. And this is not something that is widely seen, especially right now. There is an energy here that you are, you're very caring, you're very nurturing, but you also tell it how it is. People are grateful for you because they know that if you are kind and caring to them, it's because you genuinely think that they deserve it. And sometimes I'm hearing them say, I don't know what I did. Okay, I don't know what I did so right. But you also, because you're not afraid to tell it how it is, people are grateful for you. It's like, I'm hearing making it this far, you might cut people out of your life. Like, if they just, if they step over your boundaries, or if you've closed a karmic chapter and they're trying to drag you back in, or if they consciously try to trigger you or create reaction, or like overconsumption of energy or energy vampire, you know why we cut people off, we know this. But there's something here where it's like you put yourself first, and through that it allows you to honor everything and everyone else the way that you would honor yourself. Genuinely, unconditionally, sovereignly. And you also challenge the people in your life to do this too. You see that if people in your life are on their path, if they are trying, if they are rooted in love and gratitude, then they have a coveted place in your life. And so people are grateful for you for this too. But it's not just these people. No, it's also the people that are like around you or observing you or watching you. You might have some sort of platform or audience or something like this. The reason this is coming up is because these people are grateful for you because you show them how to not just apply tactical lessons or spiritual things that are just kind of passed around. I'm hearing telephone, like, I don't know, certain terms, like buzzwords that get passed around, and then people kind of parrot them and reshape them and take on their own interpretation and pass them along, and it kind of changes along the way. There's something here where you get your information from the source. And so the people around you are grateful for that too, because you always find love in the situation. You are aware that everything happens the way that it's supposed to, and that an argument to that is a deflection of self, because the mind creates the reality. And when you're in heart-mind coherence, people are grateful for you because you help them see where their mind creates their reality. And if their mind is creating something that doesn't feel good, they're not in heart-mind coherence. You help people find this. And this is also ruled by the number 11, which is also the ruler of humanitarianism and also self-realization. See how there's that duality there of humanitarianism and self-realization, self-study, self-practice, honoring the self in order to be able to genuinely provide that to others. Not in a roundabout kind of way, not in a bypassing kind of way, in a way where you're genuinely celebrating life because you're alive and you're here and you have a body, and that's beautiful. And that's what people are grateful for you. You remind people to honor their body. There's something about watching you lead by example. Maybe you're very healthy. Maybe you exercise or you eat really healthy, and people just see this and they're like, you're already eating like tofu and kale? Like what? And then maybe they're going to try tofu and kale, or maybe they'll go vegetarian. Or maybe you're talking about ancient medicines that go against some of the like big pharma ideologies that we know are unhealthy for us and keeping us sick, that are symptom based, not issue based. And so there's something here where you're like, oh well, you can mask the symptom here, but if you just like, drink some turmeric in the morning or whatever. Notice I did not say a symptom, okay, because I'm not going there, but there's something here where it's like you have remedies for actual issues. And it always goes back to love. It always goes back to wellness. It always goes back to mind-heart coherence, which is beautiful, beautiful to see because you've walked through this. You know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and you know what it looks like out there. And so you are still there in your mind and your heart while you're guiding people back through this tunnel. And so regardless of kind of what their experience is when they're feeling all lost, you help them find, well, what is it that you want to see when you're out there? Because you already know where it is. You can show them the map when you get out there. What is it that you want to feel? How is it that you think about that? Is your mind aligning with what you feel inside? Because it is rational to follow your intuition and it is rational to follow your heart. If you're on your path, the three align and your intention is connection with source and love and gratitude. And this is how you challenge the people around you, and this is why they're grateful for you. Because there's this energy where I'm hearing again, like, and I'm hearing another one bites the dust. Okay, there's this energy where you might cut people off, but it's not out of like it's not out of like a defensive energy. It's not out of a stressful energy. It's not out of any kind of like spiteful energy either. It's just like you're going to grow and evolve. And you want to be around people who are also growing and evolving and are happy for you for growing and evolving, and you can be happy for them for growing and evolving. People in your life that encourage growth. And so the people in your life are grateful because they know this about you. And the people that are around your energy are also grateful for you too, even if they're not directly in your life, because they know that your spirit team honors this too. There's this energy where things cannot touch you, like things can't touch your energy with a 10-foot pole, even like remotely. Unless the energy aligns, unless there's some sort of synchronization of a growth mindset or something like this, unless there's some sort of evolution and love that is mutual and mutually beneficial in this situation. So people are grateful for you because they know that you have something really special to offer. And this isn't like just to put you on a pedestal, okay, genuinely. Because I'm seeing here that there's a lot that you've needed to go through in order to get to this place in life. And that's why you do take it a bit seriously, but you might take your fun a bit seriously. You might take the people in your life like super duper seriously so that you have safe space to have fun, or safe space to show up and get the bag, or to start a business, or to uproot yourself, or to move across the country or across the world. There's something really cool and beautiful about you, group number 3, and the people in your life, and just people in general, I keep saying people in your life for this one, this is interesting. The people in your life are really, really grateful for you because it's like you might not recognize this, but you're the glue that holds like your friend group together. Or you're the glue that like makes people who have nothing in common with one another feel like they have commonality with one another. And that, in your eyes, group number 3, is probably just the universe experiencing itself. It could be God, it could be source, it could be light, it can be love or gratitude. But the thing is, group number 3, in these people's eyes, that's you. So people are grateful for you, group 3, because they see source in you. They see God in you. They see the universe in you. They see love and light and gratitude. They see oneness, Christ consciousness. They see oneness in you, coming from you. And so the fact that you've taken these people under your wing, or the fact that you can be so independent and still have these people around, or the fact that you can share, I'm hearing like a safe space for your inner child, the fact that you can be successful and in love, in finding your path, in making the right decision, in your independence, in fighting, picking and choosing your battles, in enjoying your life, having fun, in dealing with, I'm hearing like your mental health, or maybe your dream state. Some of you could be like hypnotists, hypnotherapists, regular therapists, psychiatrists, or like dream interpreters, something like this. We are getting a little bit of an occulty energy here, but it doesn't have to be. And you're also very tactical and rational and present. It's like this beautiful balance of energy that is you, that is within you, because you accept the oneness of everything. And you're not afraid to expand because you know that you're one with everything. And so the people in your life are grateful for you because you show them how they have commonalities with the people, places, and things out there in the world that they might feel super distant from. You show them that they're not. You show them that everything is one and the same, and it's rooted in love. Even the worst stuff in life is rooted in love. Even the most spiteful and hateful action in the entire universe is rooted in love, because it took love for something in order to create that pressure, that bitterness, that, yes, it's gripping, yes, it's mindsets, yes, it's compilation of karma, but the foundation of that is love. Love for something that didn't happen or went not the way they wanted it to, or love for their mindset, love for their something. All of it goes back to love, and that's what you show people. You show people that they can do anything on their own, but you also show people that they're not alone, and that's why they're grateful for you. Group number 3, you seem like you have some really exciting news ahead for you, and I think that the people in your life are picking up on this intuitively, and they're grateful for being able to watch you glow up, watch you grow. They're grateful to be an observer of your life and for you to be an observer of theirs. I'm getting that, I'm hearing like seeking approval, okay, like, oh, what is this song? I Drink Wine by Adele. How are we seeking approval from people we don't even know? That's something that you don't do. And people are curious to see how you like spin your life, how you weave your life. Because you don't try to seek external validation. You don't seek approval from others. And so the people around you are grateful because you kind of remind them that we all have free will. You can do whatever you want. And love exists. Not only does it exist, but you can love yourself and call it a day. You don't need someone else in your life in order to feel or experience love. And when you find it within, and you see it in the whole universe around you, there's nothing in your life that isn't love. Nothing is not a love relationship. Not necessarily romantic, of course, but it's like you make people fall in love with life, with being alive, and that's why people are grateful for you, Group 3. You might not even realize the impact you have on others. I'm hearing someone say, yeah, I kind of do. Okay, so maybe you do. Okay. But there is this question of the future. And I'm getting that there's something here where it's like everyone can see it but you. And I'm hearing that song, put on a happy face. I think that's from like a movie or a musical. There's something where it's like you are everybody's biggest fan. And people are like watching you with their jaws on the floor. And because like their jaws are on the floor, they might not be using it to verbally amp you up. And so you might be like wondering, like you might know that they appreciate you, or you might kind of stress about the truth of the words of those around you, because I'm getting that like your BS detector is on point, and that's why your circle is small, and that's part of the reason why the people are grateful for you that are in your life. But at the same time, you might still be tuning up that defensive energy a little bit. 9 of Wands indicates somebody who has finished fighting a battle. Okay, they've already experienced like the positive outcome that they were seeking, but they're still like holding their weapon. They're still a bit guarded because they finished climbing a mountain. They got to the summit. They saw the pretty part. They climbed back down the mountain, but they're still holding their hiking stick, and they haven't yet laid down to rest, have that sip of water or anything like this. So that's kind of where you're at. And so you're being given an opportunity to rest, to start anew, to celebrate, and it's like everyone can kind of see that this is where you're at, maybe except for you. And the people in your life are grateful for you for continuing on and for egging them on in positive ways. But there's a message coming up here too where it's like, don't stress about your future. Don't stress about your future at all. The people in your life are grateful for you because you show them both by example and very tangibly how they can be more like you. And there are a lot of people in your life who that's really all they want. Whether it's to have what you have, or to experience life the way you experience it, or to feel the feelings that you feel, or to have the energetic sovereignty that you have, the heart-mind coherence, the spiritual adeptness, okay, adaptivity, okay, sorry, to have like some sort of knowledge or wherewithal. Like, there are so many things about you that people are grateful for, because there are several areas in life where you are goals for others. And this is why people are grateful for you, but they're also grateful for your humbleness, because it's like, you have this adorability factor where it's like, you might know that people appreciate you, like, deep, deep, deep down, but it's almost like there's also this energy here, like, everybody knows it but you. But it's because you know that there's always bigger, you know that there's always better, but it's not in a place of greed. It's not in a place of gluttony. It's not in a place of you want more and you want more. It's just, it's like the future is right now, and you focus on right now. And that's what gives you your self-love. And that's what provides the love that you give out easily and freely and unconditionally to others. And yet you're still worried about the future. And so people in your life are grateful. I'm hearing, like, to hear that you have worries too, because there's a lot about you that people look up to and that people, like, idolize and would actually, like, take example for their own lives. And people are actually grateful to see that there are some things that stress you out too. People are actually grateful to see that you have good old-fashioned life to work through too, because it makes you feel more human. There's this energy here about you, maybe, like, people feeling like you have all the answers all the time, like you've already walked yourself through this tunnel, you know what it looks like on the outside, you're giving people maps of where to go when they get outside the tunnel that they don't even know whether it's a tunnel or not. And so when they see you kind of sit down or need a break or, like, have a good cry or get stressed over, I don't know, bills or sunburn or a conversation that was misconstrued or something like this, people are actually grateful for this too, because it kind of humanizes you a bit. And that might sound a bit weird, but you're so solid, you're so balanced, you're so stable, you're so loving, and it's so authentic. It's so authentic. And people are so grateful for this too. It's like they're grateful to see that you let yourself honor your shadow. You let yourself honor your light. And you still are aware that beyond all of this, beyond that duality, there is still love. There is still gratitude. There is still space. That's why you're so good at holding space, at being love, at being grateful, at being present. And you challenge people's perspectives just by being yourself. I'm hearing you've twisted a few knives in your day. Probably not on purpose, probably by accident, probably gently and by just speaking your truth authentically, but also without sugarcoating something that didn't need to be sugarcoated. People are grateful for you because when it's like you have a way of uprooting energy, in a way where they're showing me somebody, like, taking a plant out of a pot, but you already have the bigger, better, prettier pot with, like, the soil in it. It's, like, better soil, it's already watered, it's all ready for the plant to get, like, propagated or to get relocated into. It's like you already make sure that wherever the plant is going, like, the plant is never unsure that it's being replanted when it gets uprooted. And that is like a feeling, a vibration, perhaps a service, I don't know, that you provide to others. Some of you, you could be like a real estate agent or something like this too. Take it however it resonates. But there's this energy of, like, you rehousing people, you helping them find their heart-mind coherence, you helping them move along their path, you helping them find their truest self, you helping them find maybe God, or you helping them find their new home, or their new pet, or their new child. Like, adoption is coming to mind, things like this. You could be a social worker too. So this is why people are grateful for you. You help them find, like, love and security in one another. And you seem to have it all figured out, but you're a human too. So it's kind of also, people are also grateful to see that you can have it figured out. You can seem to have it all figured out and still not really have it all figured out, you know? So that's why people are grateful for you, because it shows how far they can go and that there's even further to go beyond that. And it just kind of expands their idea of what life is, what life can be, what's possible, and that you don't really have to follow any of the rules. Life is yours. You have free will, and it's something that you live by. and that you can have fun in your life and be very serious, and you can be very serious and have fun in your life. It doesn't have to be all one or the other. It doesn't have to be all work, no play, all play, no work. It doesn't have to be all light, no shadow, all shadow, no light. You know, it's sovereign, it's authentic, it's minute, it's intentional, it's love, it's gratitude, it's you. And people are super grateful for that. They're super grateful for you, group 3. That is all I have for you today. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this reading. It helps me out so much, and I really, really love what I do so much. Also, your energy was so beautiful and special, group number 3, and I would love to hear what it is that you do to help people out, because I was really fascinated by that, like, repotting a plant analogy, but the way that that manifested with your energy. So let me know how you help people repot. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Thank you again so much for being here, and I love you. Namaste.